Well, everyone, we've almost done it. Another year in the books. And well, it's certainly been a year, hasn't it? The environment has seen better days, to be sure. Politics in general is messy, to say the least. And, oh yeah, who could forget our lovely global pandemic? But despite all of that, there's still things to celebrate. The state of tech for the privacy conscious is doing surprisingly well, and so I thought I'd make a short video to highlight some of my favorite open source and open web tech tools. Ubuntu Linux is, for me, both an end and a beginning. I've used Linux on and off since the late 90s, starting with Red Hat Linux 6, but it was always a short and torrid affair, with both parties drifting apart as these things often do. That was until Ubuntu Linux 1910. With that release, I finally found a Linux distro that I could easily make my daily driver, and that's been the case now for the last few years. The latest release of Ubuntu, version 2010, has been just as pleasant, and the future continues to look bright for Ubuntu. And so, with the end of my search for a Linux distribution I could be happy with, I also began down a new road with a much more privacy-respecting operating system than Windows. Firefox is a bit of a different story than my Linux experience. I was an avid user of Firefox since the earliest days when it was still using the Phoenix branding. It was my everyday browser for years, up until Google released Chrome, and like many others, I switched over to the fast new upstart browser. However, over the years Google's transformed from the lovable startup looking to index the web and into a data privacy dystopian nightmare. Fortunately, all the while, Team Mozilla had continued fighting the good fight, and over the last few years, Firefox has shed much of its architectural dead weight and has once again been reborn into a modern browsing experience. I support using Firefox for many reasons nowadays, not the least of which is to ensure that Google doesn't have a stranglehold over the direction of web rendering. Escaping the maw of Google on the browser was a simple matter of installing Firefox, or as was the case with Ubuntu Linux, simply clicking the Firefox app icon. But what about cloud storage? Or online doc editing? Or video chat? Or, well, you see where I'm going with this. Say what you want about Google, but they make a lot of great web products. That's why I was so excited to find Nextcloud. Initially, I installed it simply because I was trying to understand how to run a self-hosted web service, but it's quickly transformed into my everything private cloud. Considering it takes less than 15 minutes to install via Snap package, and has included features and extensible apps to replace the majority of the non-private cloud services I use, it wasn't a surprise that Nextcloud quickly went from a neat test to an indispensable tool. Do you believe it's important to keep your most personal conversations private? If you answered yes to that, and I really think you should, then please stop sending messages over text and WhatsApp. Signal is a wonderful open source project that uses true encryption to keep your messages safe. The mobile Android app is a really pleasant experience, and it even syncs messages to your desktop, including Linux. Do yourself a favor and give it a try in 2021 if you haven't already. Last, but certainly not least, is PeerTube. This is a project that's near and dear to my heart because it powers and makes possible the Tilvids community. As with so many other entries on this list, Google has aggressively wormed their way into so many aspects of our digital lives, and online video is no exception thanks to YouTube. It really is a terrible platform though, harvesting private user data to monetize around with ads, and driving creators to build endless top 10 lists and influencer vlogs, all in an attempt to move up the charts. PeerTube is different. By decentralizing the power structure of online video, anyone can start their own video community. This stops users from having their data harvested and being constantly bombarded with ads, and also allows creators to focus on creating content that the community will love, rather than endless streams of mindless drivel. I can't underscore enough how excited I am to watch the future of PeerTube unfold, and look forward to incorporating these new ideas into the Tilvids community. So that's my list of my personal favorite privacy tech as we head into 2021. What do you think? Did I miss something you love? Is there anything I should be looking into this year? Leave some thoughts down below. I'm always excited to hear about new developments in the data privacy world. Thanks for watching.